thank y'all for tapping back in to Soul Purpose Farms. We're glad to have y'all in. And I'm Aaron.
It's big.
It was.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a little fun in this episode. Want to discuss a couple of important topics that we've been seeing embarking on a new school year. Time management probably being one of the biggest things as far as what I'm be doing this week. It's my first full week of school, trying to get everything organized. I then picked up an additional class, so I got a full load of things I need to cover. But so how do y'all go about good time management things, and how do y'all skills, and why is time management so important in going to a new school year? You know, I'm not going to jump in first.
I was about to say I'm still learning time management. I thought I had it down pat when I was working, but
you still working?
Huh?
You still working?
Yeah, working. But you know what I mean, like in the field. Like it was different, like having a full-time job. Whereas school just a little different. Like like for example, when you go to work, you work your 80 hours, your 40 hours a week, and you're going about your business. School, they tell you you're going to work 20 hours or 40 hours, but really you're going to work 80 hours.
I was about to say, you're going to work by 80, 90 hours.
Right. So I think it's managing the work, all the things. And then on top of that, it's not just like the logistical side of things. It's the actual assignments that got to be turned in for all these, different things. And so for me, calendars, like I use my virtual calendar out of respect for other people when they want to schedule things with me, but writing things down just is the simplest way to do it for me, like checklists. So
I'm gonna keep it real though, Vic. I gotta use both. Like a lot of my personal stuff, I like to write down, but like say if I'm doing anything with anybody else, please send me a calendar invite.
Well, out of respect for other people, because you don't want to double book. Like I done double booked some stuff, and the department done pushed my travel through and everything, and I realized I double booked. So yes, that works. But I'm saying, like, for myself, also just keeping track, because I always keep my agenda on me. It's easy to write stuff down.
Yeah, that's the best way. Just piggybacking off of what you talking about, Vic. Like, man, look, you got to write that stuff down. I got a good memory, so I felt like going into a lot of different things, I could just remember it. I keep up with it, man. It don't work that way, man. You got to write that stuff down. You've been a double booked yourself, triple booked yourself, and be looking fool trying to make everything work because you done made promises you can't keep, man. That the biggest tool, writing things down. And like you said, Aaron, just send me that link, man. If we got something going on and I'm not around you all the time and don't all the way talk to you all the time, if it's just business or academics, man, send me that link.
Yeah, I'm gonna say too, man. Shout out that boy, Doc. At some point, you got to say no.
That's another thing. I didn't want to get into that, but that's
I had to just go ahead. That was on my heart, my mind. Like, some point, you got to say no. I got things to do, but it's all about your approach and how you communicate that. But like, some things you can't do. And especially like I know as far as like y'all, you know what I'm saying, progressively y'all programs, y'all saying y'all meeting new people and you want to collaborate with this, collaborate with that. Like, you can't do everything, because I didn't realize too, going back to just game we didn't pick up for Doc, is if you not doing stuff that's gonna benefit you to get you across that stage, you need to slow up on that. I'm not saying make good connections, but all relationships, as far as the task, you don't need to put them on top 10 or top 5 of your list. Do what you got to do to get across that stage, because I had to realize, man, a lot of this stuff, like, it's cool. I'm gaining certain skills and just through repetition, but like, I'm not really doing what I need to do to progress me as far as a student. Because I had to read last week, I was like, okay, let me go through my course checklist just to see what's going on. Like, well, Aaron, look here, this is cool, but you might want to add a class just to be on the safe side, so you dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's too. So it's all
Yeah,
right. So,
you gotta prioritize. You gotta prioritize and make sure you prioritize your stuff first. Cause man, Aaron, we talked about it a million times this summer. Just working in the same places we was working in, man. Folks want you over here. Folks want you over here. They think you good and proficient over here, so you could help out here and there, and then you realize, man, look, I got to get me.
yeah.
I got to get my stuff in order, man. Because if I don't get my stuff in order, I can't do nothing. So you got to prioritize yourself and your stuff first.
Yeah, that's important though because I know for like being in certain new spaces that we all in, especially like Kelly, she a veteran in the game as far as like going from South Carolina all the way to Alaska. Like this is one of the first time I'd have had an experience being a real true quote unquote minority in dominated majority field. So they gonna want you to do a little bit more. Like, okay, cool. Well, we want to have you here. Could you do this? Could you do this? I'm like, yeah, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Because you're getting exposed. But at the same time, it's like, let's chill. And I really don't want to be reminded that you're a minority or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because guess what? I woke up black, I'm gonna go to sleep black. So and I had no choice when I came to this world what ethnicity I'm gonna be a part of. So it's a lot of different things that go apart. But yeah, throughout the summer, boy, we was definitely having to remind ourselves each and every day, quit. It's okay to say no.
Yeah, it was plenty of times I was about to burn out trying to
I
trying
said,
to do a garden bed over here, trying to go over here and meet with these folks, trying to go do a tour over here, man. Look, do your stuff first, man. Make sure you straight. Make sure you straight.
I had to hit that Vic on you, said, hold on, big fella, slow your roll.
Man, hold them at. Hold them at.
So is there anything you want to say, Vic, about that?
No, I think y'all covered it.
You sure?
Yeah.
Because I know that's one thing you always talk about is time management. I gotta get my time management, but some of the tips.
I think we always gonna be working on time management, especially as we like tapping into new things. Like I know as far as the research, that's something new. And I was just telling you on the phone right before you was sending out the link or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
just in the hour, I only got 2 paragraphs done.
But that's good.
But in my, you know, I learned this new thing called Pomodoros. And in a Pomodoro, that's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? Like setting 25 minutes or an hour and using that time and mapping it out. So in that time, I mapped out that I would do 1 paragraph, but you know what I'm saying? And I got 2 paragraphs, but I think, yeah, as it comes with practice and just, you know, getting more experience in the things that we're doing, we always gonna have to time management. It's always gonna be a new thing to figure out how to do, especially you know what I'm saying, just tying it back to ag. That's a big thing because when you talk about harvesting or when you talk about sowing seeds or when you talk about, you know what I'm saying, the breeding season, all these different things, you got to time things and you got to prioritize them, what they look like for the season. So yeah, I mean, just time manage. If anything, that's what time management really come into play because you lose out on money if you ain't on schedule. So
Oh yeah, that's real. That's real. You gotta map that out. You gotta map that out. And like you said, prioritizing and making sure it's straight, Vic. Like, man, you gotta know how to pace yourself. Like a lot of times we get in head over heels, not realizing, look, man, I gotta take a step back, tackle this as it comes. You know what I'm saying? Do 2 paragraphs right now. You know what I'm saying? Come back to it later. You know what I'm saying? Like you were just saying, just managing your time and pacing yourself, because man, you'll burn out.
Yeah, because I realized one thing. I'm pretty sure y'all heard this too. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So once I started taking that analogy to heart and transferring to what I'm doing every day, I'm like, well, cool. Set a goal for myself. I'm just gonna write 50 words. This week I might write 150. Next week I might do 250. And I really realized don't go over 300 words a day. Well, you can if you just like that, but it allows you to say, okay, cool, I can revise, and I can build off of that, build off of that. But I've still got to take my own advice. I haven't got to that point yet, but I'm getting better and recognizing things. Like right now, like in my room, I got 3 whiteboards up, plus, you know what I'm saying, my own personal dreams and goals. and objectives underneath there, like how I'm gonna get there, and always constantly like personal development. I'm always shout out to Mike. Personal development probably been one of the biggest things that I always uh been priority to me. Just seeing how my mother moves for like having that schedule, that routine from the top to bottom when she wake up to go to sleep, which encompasses what time management really is. Because if you take time to develop a routine, it's gonna become second nature. Like, okay, cool, I know I'm supposed to be doing something at this time, but at the same time, like y'all was saying, you got to know when to chill too, because it gives you time to rejuvenate and think about, oh dang, I've been going, but I missed out on that. Cause like yeah,
Mhm.
with this past weekend, I had a family event going on. I knew I really needed some time to sit back and impact, reflect on what I need to do this week. But I realized, man, nothing come before family, man. A lot of these people I haven't even seen since before COVID. And I know that meant a lot to me, but I was like, damn, I still got a lot to do, but I still had to make time for family because family is very important to me. So that's how I just want to drop some gems on that. But back what you were saying over here, I never heard that. Can you explain what that is?
What's that?
The time management skill or writing tips.
Oh, the Pomodoro. So you you basically you write down what it is that you want to do and you break it down in increments. So like I said, you can do so when I took this writing retreat, it was the best writing retreat. But when I took the writing retreat, it was she was teaching you how to be more comfortable, really, and I think it can be applied to any parts of our lives. Like if you have an intense assignment or something related to work that needs to be done, you map out what that's going to look like. So like for example, today when I was writing, I started my Pomodoro included a small list, and it was a paragraph on belonging and building community. And so under that I had something I needed to add to my calendar. That's what I was going to do within my hour Pomodoro time span. And then you take a break. And then she also has this thing where she talks about parking on a downslope. So like when you finish doing what you're doing, you want to get to a point where you're at a comfortable point. When you get back to it, when you come back to that assignment, whatever you're working on, you parking on a downslope, so it's not as intense. You handle whatever the intense piece was of your work, like the meat of it, right before you finish. So when you come back to it, it's a little easier to hop into whatever else that you're working on. So she talks about that, and she was breaking it down like you don't even have to write. You don't even have to, if it's accounting, you don't even have to go into your spreadsheets. Maybe during your 10-minute Pomodoro, you write down the checklist that you need to do. So she just breaks it down in that way, because I remember I was looking at writing, I was like, I'm gonna do 5 pages, but that's not realistic, especially in research. And so when I think about that and I'm going into my writing, I'm anxious, I'm overwhelmed, I'm trying to pull all these articles and stuff, instead of saying, okay, when you write your list of what you're gonna do, you're gonna do a paragraph. You may map out 2 subsections, just write them out, just to have them on your paper, stuff like that. And she was like, small seeds grow into larger, what I'm saying, go into, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. You get what I'm trying to say. But small progress is better than fast progress, and like overwhelming yourself and doing last minute stuff. So that's what I learned from that. And so I just been trying to take that and kind of apply it in different ways. Even in my days, like when I say I'm sewing into my days, if it's going to the gym and keeping up with trying to go to the gym, or even making up your bed, because some people don't make up their bed, that's sewing into your day. And I learned that as a child, just as soon as your feet hit the floor, you make up the bed. But to my point, that was part of her lesson. I use it as going into scripture, sewing into my days, but that's basically what she was saying as well. Like small things lead to greater success.
Man, I love you saying that. Like you really been coining that phrase. But we gotta get that boy 217 on here to talk about sewing into your day, because I love to hear him when he say uh sewing into his day, what that really means. But you saying that, like sewing into your day, have you, since you progressing through your program, like I mentioned earlier, have you been able to share your story with people and inspire some of the people that may want to see themselves going into the same direction you're going within the ag field?
Like within my program, like some of my colleagues.
Anywhere, it can be your cousins, person on the street, like anybody.
Mm, I mean, no. But in that aspect of like, because I say that because I just had a conversation with a colleague in my department, and he was talking about how you just get so overwhelmed. Like this summer was just too crazy for him and all this stuff. And he was trying to figure out research. And now he has this thing where he's interested in eval, but that's not his advice. That's not what he came in on. And so the same thing I was saying here, I was like, think about it this way.
Hold on. I want to stop you, Vic. What is eval?
I'm sorry. I'm saying I'm
Wait.
talking like
I know what you're saying, but like,
I'm sorry, I'm talking like it's just us on your evaluation. So evaluating programs and policies and things like that. So he's found interest in that, but he was feeling so overwhelmed. And so I told him about the writing retreat and think of it like just breaking it down, like breaking it all the way down to the point where it's so simple. Because I think like when we get in spaces like these, we tend to like psych ourselves out. like it's, if I'm not doing all this, then I'm not doing nothing at all. When in all actuality, if you're doing all this, you're really not doing anything at all. It's not productive.
Yeah.
And that's the wrong way. And I did it too. I still do it in some ways when I feel like I'm overwhelmed, but I've learned to kind of compartmentalize all these different pieces in my work and break it down to the simplest piece. And so, long story less long, I was having that conversation with him and he was like, dang, that makes so much sense. And I was like, just remember, like, we here to get out. And and he was like, dang, I never thought of it that way. And so that was nice to have that conversation with him, because I was like, well, how you feel now? And he was like, I feel much better just in this conversation, just the way you broke it down to me. So that was cool.
I think as far as with me,
Yeah.
yeah, I think with me, like I get emotional sometimes when people say, "Man, how you got to this point?" Especially this past school year, I ran across this good brother. He was looking to a PhD program, but he was going to like straight from undergrad to like mathematics or engineering, something like that. I think it was mathematics, but he was like, "Man, we got to talking and stuff like this." So I'm like, "Where you in school currently?" He was like, "I'm like, dang, bro, I went to school there too." He was like, "You came from here?" I was like, "Yeah, I came from there, and I'm here too." So I'm like, "Man, it's possible, but you got to learn as far as like coming from a very small school and predominantly black school. You got to know it's going to look a whole lot different, especially as far as I'm gonna be honest, the work level and like far like just like the knowledge, like you got to have a better grasp about far as why you doing it, because a lot of things look different. Because I'm pretty sure y'all can attest to this. A lot of the things that we're doing now, we did not have the same opportunity to use. Like a lot of the softwares that we use, facilities, a lot of different things. Because just something like software, like I didn't know. I heard of it before, but I had never ran analysis on my own before going into this program and realizing like, dang, what y'all been doing this since undergrad?
Yeah, since freshman year.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Y'all been doing this since undergrad, you know what I'm saying? So like you realizing like you here for a reason. You got into the school for because you are qualified, but understanding like always know why you doing it. Because you can get caught up in the game when you're trying to compare yourself to left and right, like, dang, he doing this, she doing this. And then one thing too, like, I'm gonna be honest, coming into here, I did not know the pressures of people publishing their work. Like I heard people, okay, cool. Like that I never really, I'm not saying I didn't care about, oh yeah, he an author, he done did this. I never really cared about that type stuff. But then once I came here and seen, like, oh yeah, these people care about that because they love what they do.
But also,
Well, go ahead.
yeah, but
You want to play God's Advocate 19?
Well,
OG
no,
Vic.
no, I'm gonna just say too, it's a matter of that's their livelihood. Like, in order for you to succeed, really succeed in the space that we in right now, you gotta publish in order to get you know what I'm saying, move up, have the respect. Because one, a regular, I'm gonna just say it, somebody just teach classes and don't do research don't get that much respect in this space.
We talking about Research One Institution.
Yeah, you don't. So that's why, you know what I'm saying, it's so intense with what grants you applying for and what grants you a part of and who's in your, you know what I'm saying, what relationships have you built, which bridges have you built, because now people don't want to work with you. I just saw it's one of our I ain't gonna say his name, one of our professors got this new $8 million grant. His salary added on, his extra money added on to the salary he has is an extra 92,000 off this one grant. That's one grant. The man really don't got to do nothing else in his time here. He's done all that you can do, but that's off of one grant for the next 3 years on top of his three solid base salary that he getting. You know what I'm saying? He's getting an extra 92,000.
So is McDonald's gonna give you that?
No, I'm not a part of that.
So if McDonald's not gonna give you that, is Chick-fil-A gonna give you that? Is Walmart gonna give you that?
I mean, the corporate is paying.
I'm not talking about corporate. See you. That's how I know you a boss. I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, like people, you know what I'm saying, coming out of college who done got degrees in basket weaving and creative writing, not knocking that. And then you see them like 2 months later working in Target and stuff like that. Taking advantage in this ag field, man, it can take you past your wildest imagination.
Mm-hmm.
And this,
like,
go ahead.
Like you said, the importance of the publications, man. We didn't come from a space with people around us with a lot of publications telling us the importance of publications, understanding like that validates your work and the quality of your work more so. You know what I'm saying? Like, them folks don't have to go talk about what they're doing because they can send you, hey, I did this, I did that, I did this. You can go look up different publications that they've done and they validate, you know, what they do in their space. Since we talk about space. But we didn't necessarily come from that background. For instance, I dealt with some students this week that didn't really understand like being at state, you know, how things are. You know, they think that they, let's say, working at a certain level, not understanding like it's a lot of other stuff that go along with this. You know what I mean? It's a lot of other stuff that go along with this, and it's a lot of other things that's of importance to these people. So when you say certain things, they not trying to shut you down or shut you out or be on some like, you know, penny any shit with you. They just really know that when you moving a certain way or you moving at a certain caliber, you say certain things and you have certain things, you know, that go on with yourself. And publications is one of those things. When you get to talking about, you know, your quality of work, what you've done in academia or in the industry, you got to have something to back that up. You know, folks don't want to hear what you're talking about. They want to see what you done did. It got to add up.
And also, go ahead.
No, go.
I was saying, and also like for like what you saying, Quiz, is them people don't ever think this the only thing they got going on. They just
no.
they just doing this to leverage themselves into maybe a better retirement plan or to a small business as well. Because a lot of these people are entrepreneurs.
Yeah, they got their own thing going on.
Whether it be consulting, running a family farm, going into a small business. I know a guy went into the food and beverage industry off of what he did in the on the university ag side. Like, it's so many opportunities in here that can help you leverage to do your own thing outside of this. But
Yeah,
everybody that I met in this field, like in the research side or just the university side, as far as ag, they still do agriculture enterprises, have agriculture enterprises outside of the university setting. Like I was saying, whether consulting, grant writing, evaluation work, on their own food and beverage operations, is always gonna be that. But man, just saying like it's so many different opportunities. But going back to far like the research and stuff, what I realized too is like I know we love what we do, and other people, because I'm not published yet, so I can't just stand on it all the way yet. But I wonder, like a lot of stuff that I'm reading and knowing that, you know what I'm saying, I've been in school for years, like how can this information really be communicated to the everyday people that, you know what I'm saying, especially like the people that we love and we come into contact with, you know what I'm saying, who just everyday people, working citizens. Like, how can this research make them better? Whether it be producers, uh, CEOs, whoever, or just a regular person at Dollar General. Like, how can we make them see, like, okay, cool, we done did this test experiment. How can it be applied to your everyday life, or just get more food for thought?
I think one is Steve Harvey said it best.
Oh, your uncle.
They call him SH.
They do.
We call him SH.
Okay.
No, but Steve Harvey said it best. You know what I'm saying? He was saying that he created a bridge, and instead of him going over crossing the bridge, he had them cross over to him. Whereas people would cross over and then that bridge would burn, and now you in their world. And he had them be able to cross over to him and create his own, cultivate his own kind of space and what he wanted to give to the people and how he wanted to partner with people. And so I think about that with us, because all of us always talk about all the time is having them people cross over to us. And I think the great and unique piece about what we do is that we have the experience of being in the academia within the academy, is what I like to call it. We have the experience of being within the academy, working within the academy, but also, you know what I'm saying, we Black, and we come from real Black families with real Black issues, and you know what I'm saying, Black excellence too, but you know what I'm saying, we rooted in who we are. And we haven't had the glitz and the glam, you know what I'm saying, we done had to get it in different ways. And I'm not gonna say my mom ain't had me, you know what I'm saying, had me with looking crazy as a kid, but you know what I'm saying, we all had our struggles, and we know what it takes. So I say that to say we got the best of both worlds. We can talk the talk and walk the walk, and be able to talk to many different people, many different groups of people, whether it's youth or adults, you know what I'm saying, older folks, older generations. I think we definitely show that at InvestFest, that, you know what I'm saying, in different ways we can communicate with people and explain what it is that we doing to people in a way that they understand it, and that they can think, oh, that's what, you know what I'm saying, that has to do with my family. You know what I'm saying, my folks were just talking about the 20 acres down in South Georgia, and I ain't know nothing about. That's what that's all about. And so when you get that kind of response, I think one is so valuable, and I think it's something to cherish, because that means, you know what I'm saying, like when we talk about how these folks be talking in the academia space, that stuff do not cross over. Hell, it damn near don't cross over to me, and I'm in the space sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So I can only imagine somebody that's from the east side, you know what I'm saying, of Atlanta, or from the west side of Atlanta, that don't know nothing about nothing, what that would look like. So I would say, I think that's what makes us so unique. You know what I'm saying? We can tie that. Aaron be laughing when I say this, but when I talk about culture, you know what I'm saying, bringing culture into agriculture, bringing it back into agriculture, and making it look good.
Well, I think we're doing a fine job with that, and
Yeah,
because one of the projects that I worked on coming into this program I'm in now, focus on culturally responsive pedagogy and culturally responsive practices. Period. And I'm like, I used to hate it, but then one day it just clicked. Like, that's who I am. That's what we trying to do. We trying to do culturally responsive work. So what it pretty much is saying, like, okay, bringing ideas and different strategies and practices to different people and teaching them in different ways where they see themselves reflected in the curriculum. So like how you was going back to talking about InvestFest, like what they doing as far as like in the business entrepreneur setting, they saying edutainment, but it's really cultural responsive work. It's where people are being able to say, okay, dang, it's somebody who looks like me that's doing it. well, let me tap in a little bit more. They're not saying things in high jargon. They're not coming in with a suit and tie. They're not coming in there with with the Clarks on. They coming in there Air Force Ones out, Dickie suit, or might come in there polo down, or might come in there Louis down, and the women they going straight high class Tom Ford suits. So people are like, okay, dang, it looks a whole lot different. But I think as far like the ag space, we are seeing a resurgence because of people like yourself sitting right here with me. Like, look at you, Vic. Like a black woman doing the thing, Quiz. You coming there swagged out, but I'm thinking you ready to dunk on with the jersey. So like they seem like, dang, okay, I can really rock with that. And I'm pretty sure y'all done had instances like, dang, you so down to earth, bro. What you into? So have y'all had any kind of conversations with somebody like, bro, like, oh, I can rock with you, man. I can relate to you. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you do?
Oh yeah. I get them moments all the time, and you'll realize, like, man, you with these folks, you really speaking the same language. They just don't understand what it is you understand because they not in that frame or space, that you in. So, I mean, I get that all the time, man. I remember when we was at InvestFest and we was taking pictures and meeting with different folks and stuff like that. We kept on hearing, man, y'all in agriculture, like y'all don't look like farmers, man. Y'all the freshest farmers I done ever seen. Like, not really understand, like, this ain't that, bro. This ain't that. So yeah, man, we catch that all the time, man. Well, speaking for me, but I know, man, y'all dripped out just like me. So I know y'all catch it just like I do. In different spaces. Let me say that, because in some spaces, them folks not even worried about that.
No.
Them folks not just and understanding that is a big part of what you're talking about, Aaron. Because like I said, you'll realize a lot of times you saying the same things, but because of that, like you was talking about that pedagogy, you not the cultural response is different. So we could be saying tomato and tomato. Where I'm from, we say tomato. You know what I'm saying? You saying tomato, and we butting heads about tomato and tomato when it's the same damn thing. You know what I'm saying? So just understanding that and understanding the people that we deal with and meeting them where they at, like we did at InvestFest, like being able to talk to people on their level, whether it be somebody that's of youth or somebody that's an elder to us. I think we do a real good job of that.
I think too, just to piggyback off of what you're saying, like the language, because like unfortunately we'll never play the same game that they playing. And so all we can do is learn, you know what I'm saying? Like learn that game. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll never be playing that game in totality, to be able to keep up with what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Just society in general. It just wasn't built that way.
It wasn't.
Dr. Grayson, who is the founder of Carver, which is my fellowship program. I had a conversation with him the other day, older guy, remind me of my granddaddy. And he was like, people often think that white privilege is individualized. Like some people think that, but it's not. He was like, it's an institution, educational institution, judicial, just all these different things. And he was like, we just have to learn to work within them, how to navigate, work within them, and use them to our advantage. And I was like, dang, you know what I'm saying? That is true. Like people do think of it, and it's not, it's an institution. So I say that to say us being in a white majority academia space, learning what's happening here, because it looked totally different than what was given at state and what we was taught at state. And it doesn't take away from the HBCUs. It's just that's the institution and that's how they were built. Even the Howards and the A&Ts and the FAMUs and all the schools, you know what I'm saying, the Xaviers that are at the quote unquote top of the HBCU list, we still nowhere near the PWIs. You know what I'm saying? It's the way the institution is built. So I say that to say, understanding, knowing it, and taking it, you know what I'm saying, bringing it back and making it ours, and being able to articulate in a way that people understand.
Not only that, just creating our own from what we take from that.
And also, I want to add too, it's not a matter of just being a Black business, right? Because like I don't like getting stuck in that bubble of like Black owned business. Yeah, it is a Black owned business, but at the same time, we trying to you know what I'm saying, if we can create partnerships across board and allyship on both ends, you know what I'm saying, not just allyship from white counterparts. And I say white and black because that's what this is, you know what I'm saying? Like, much respect to folks, individuals that come from other countries to come to the United States, but really is white and black, baby. So I say that to say, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about just let's build black businesses and support black businesses only. Let's create partnerships and create, because there are businesses, especially in ag, that is definitely not all about black business in ag. I mean, there's got to be some intersectionality happening in order for all parties to succeed. Because going back to what we talk about ag, it's all about community. You know, we want to create that platform for black farmers and black communities to have access to some of the same things. If we create that intersectionality and really collaborate on all levels, it really could be something way, way greater than, you know what I'm saying, we could ever imagine.
Yeah, we talk all the time. It ain't just
that was a mouthful. I didn't mean to ramble like that, but
oh, you were in though.
That's what it was. We talk about that all the time, man. It ain't just a black thing or a man thing or a feminist thing. You know, a lot of people get those things twisted up. You know what I'm saying? We all about business and just people working together in general. It ain't that for us. You know what I'm saying?
No, like I said earlier, like we know we woke up black and we're gonna go to sleep black. But as far as like we're just trying to bring people together as far as having a shared vision about what we do. And that's why we had, like at the event we had a couple weeks ago at InvestFest was passing out seeds. We're just trying to plant seeds with people so they can help plant seeds with other people, because that's what life really about. And reaping that harvest, when, you know what I'm saying, when it's your season to reap it. But I think next episode, that'll be a great conversation to have, like, as far as what is 1890 and what is 1862, and just breaking it down as far as like structure, especially the ad piece, and why it is so important to know what those are. Because a lot of people say like support black colleges, but like it's a difference between black colleges, especially when you're talking about like 1890 land grant schools and 1862 land grant schools directly. So next episode, please tune in and we'll give you a breakdown. What is it 1890? What is it 1862? What is the 1994 land grant institution? But thank y'all again for tuning in with us for this week's episode, man. See y'all next week. Peace.